In this video, we're going to find the coordinates of the vertex for a quadratic function using two different formulae. Now, in order for us to be able to do this, our quadratic, first of all, has to be in standard form, which is this here, ax squared plus bx plus c. The first formula we will be using is this, which tells us how to find the h and the k value. In order to find h, what the formula tells us to do is we have negative b over 2a. K, however, what we do is to plug the value that we found for h back into that function f of x there. So the first quadratic we are going to find the vertex for, actually it's only one we're going to be doing. We're going to use two different formula to find the vertex for the same quadratic equation. That equation is this here. F of x is equal to 2x squared minus 8x plus 3. Now again, going back to the formula. The first part tells us how to find the h coordinate of the vertex. In order to find the h coordinate, all we do is we put negative b over 2a. Now b in the case of the quadratic that we're dealing with today is a negative 8. Negative b over 2a is telling us to find the negative of negative 8. And the negative of negative 8 is actually positive 8. So negative b is negative of negative 8. The negative of negative 8 is positive 8. And we're going to divide the positive 8 by 2b, by 2a, sorry. A, in the case of this equation again, it is 2. That's the leading coefficient. 2 times 2 is 4. So we have 8 divided by 4. And that will be equal to 2. So just like that, we have found our h value. H equals 2. In order to find for k, what we do is we use the function that is in the formula there. This is the function here, f of h. And we simply plug back the value that we found for h into this function. And so we do it this way. So what we have on the screen here is f of 2 is equal to 2 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 3. Simplifying, 2 squared will give us 4, 4 times 2 will give us 8. Negative 8 times 2 will give us a negative 16, and then we simply bring down the positive 3. Simplifying further, if we subtract 16 from 8, we get a negative 8. And if we add that to a positive 3, we get a negative 5. So then k is equal to negative 5. So we have found our h and k value. We can rewrite that as 2, negative 5. That is using the first formula. Let's use the second formula and see what we will get. The second formula is written like this. If you notice, the first part of this formula is identical to the first part of the first formula that we used, telling us that in order to find the h term, or the h coordinate, what we do is we have negative b over 2a. The difference is in the second part. And if you notice, this is c minus b squared divided by 4a. What it is telling us to do, if we follow PEMDAS, we have to do our squaring first. We have to do our we have to square our term first. So b squared in this case is negative negative 8 squared. Negative 8 times negative 8, and that will be equal to a positive 64. Positive 64. That's the first part. So we have squared the b term. Now we have to divide that the b term by 4 times the a term. The a term is 2, 4 times 8, 4 times 2 is 8. So it's 64, sorry, divided by 8, and that will be equal to 8. I'm getting my signs mixed up here. I'm sorry about that. So 64, let me rewrite that here. 64 divided by 8 is equal to 8. So now what we're going to do, we're going to subtract this 8 from the 3, which is the c term, because that is what the formula tells us to do. So we have 3 minus 8, and that will be equal to negative 5. So here again, we have found that k equals negative 5. And we can rewrite that as 2 minus 5. That's our h and our k coordinates. So you see that whatever formula we use, we ought to get the same answer if we do our operation correctly. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.